Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about file handling in Python. Why file handling? File handling because file handling allows us to read, write and manipulate the files, which is essential for working with real world applications. Right. What if we want to store the data of some football players or the scores of a cricket match? So we will use files to store the data permanently. So let's get started. Basically, what is a file? A file in itself is a bunch of bytes stored on some storage devices like hard disk, thumb drive, etc. And why we use files? Because the files help in storing the information permanently. Okay, so this is the definition of file. And moving ahead, we have data files. What are these data files? The data files are the files that store the data pertaining to a specific application for the later use. For example, if we are storing the scores of a football match is a specific application. We are storing the data of scores. Okay, these files are known as the data files. Data files are basically of two types. First one is text file and second one is binary files. Text files, for example, if you see, the extension of text files is .txt, and for binary files the extension is .dat extension, DAT extension. Talking about brief of text files, basically the text files are the normal files in which the data is present in normal form, right? Like this is an apple. You can see the example on your left. This is an apple. Regular text file content, this is an apple. Okay, you can see the data properly. So in text files, basically a notepad. You can take the example of notepad. In text files, it stores the information in the form of a stream of ASCII characters, or you can say the Unicode characters, in which each line of text is terminated with a special end of line character, which is known as EOL character, like backslash n, backslash r. Basically, what is backslash r? Backslash r is carriage return, and backslash n is new line character. Backslash t, no, 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 no. Backslash t is not the end of line character. Backslash t is just an escape sequence, like backslash n, backslash r, but backslash t means it is providing the horizontal tab space between the values. There are two types of text files over there. First one is regular text files, which have .txt extension, and second one is delimited text files. There are two types of delimited text files over there, like CSV files and TSV files. What are these CSV files? CSV files means comma separated value files. Comma separated comma behaves as a delimiter over here, that it is going to separate two values with a comma. And what are TSV files? TSV files means the values are separated by tab separated value files. These files are known as tab separated value files. As you can see on your right, there are some examples over here. TSV file content means this is an apple, this and is are the values which are separated by a tab space. And in CSV file, this and is are the values which are separated by a comma over here. These are just for the theoretical purpose. It will not come in that much use, but we will perform some operations with CSV files in upcoming videos. Moving ahead to the binary files, there are binary files. Basically, binary files are not in the human readable format because the binary file contains the information in the same format as in the information is held in the memory. Therefore, the binary files are faster and easier for a program to read and write than are the text files. Why? Because binary files are present in machine readable format, not in human readable format. Also, the binary files store the information in the form of stream of bytes. On your right, you can see the box in which there's some information is over there. The text files can be opened in any text editor and are in human readable form, while the binary files are not in the human readable form. This is more or less a theoretical portion. Okay, moving ahead to opening the files. In order to open the files, we use open function. Okay, I will show you it practically. Opening the file. Firstly, I will create a folder over here which will contain all the stuffs of files. Fine. Doing double click over there. Now I will do shift right click to open the folder with our VS Code. the folder get opened in the VS Code. Now I will create a file named sample.txt which will hold some data, over here. Now I have uh, written some content in the sample.txt file. This is basically the basic text file. Now I will show you how to open a file using Python. To open a file using Python, we use the syntax file handle. We will firstly create a file handle. In basic language, you can relate it with the variable name. File handle equal to open function. We use open function as a built-in function. And in open function, there are two parameters over there. First one is file name, and second one is the mode. By default, the mode is set to read mode. Now I will show you some modes, file access modes over there. These are some of the file access modes. In text file, we use read mode to retrieve the data or to read the data from the file. But the twist is if the file doesn't exist in your system or in your folder, then it will show the error, right? But there is some advantage in write mode. Write mode, if the file doesn't exist in your system, then it will create a new file with the name you have provided. But if the file exists in your system and there is some sort of data over there, then it will overwrite the data. It will truncate that past data and it will overwrite, right? But append mode is a nice mode because I use it frequently, because append mode doesn't pop any kind of error if the file doesn't exist in your system. If the file doesn't exist in your system, then it will create a new file. But if the file exists in your system and there is some sort of data over there, then it will not truncate the past data. It will just append the data by, you can understand by its name too. The other three modes are not as much important. These are just for theoretical portion. Read and write mode. Read and write mode means it will do as same as the read mode, but we can write the data over it too. Write plus mode is it will do the same as of write mode, but it will mostly follow the rules of write mode. Fine. So moving ahead, how to open a file. I hope you understood the mode. Now, in opening to open the file, we will firstly create a file handle. Let's see, I have created a F file handle, and I'm opening the file named sample.txt, which you can see is present over there. Now it will open the file in read mode. I have told you it will open the file in read mode. Fine. This is just opening the file, and we should close the file. Closing the file is a better practice because in Python, the file get automatically closed at the end of program. But it is a good practice to get into the habit of closing your files explicitly by using the close function. Close is not a built-in function, it is just a method which is used with the file handle object. An open file is closed by calling the close method of its file object. So closing the file is a better practice to perform. Now there are some functions to read the data, to write the data into the text files. We have just opened the file, but can we get into the depth of this open function? Okay, I will explain you. Now the open function, what is it doing? Open function is linking the file name with the file handle. You can see the file name is sample.txt over here. It just link the sample.txt with our file handle f so that we can perform the further operations with our file. There are three basic read functions, to read the data from the file. First one is read function. What will it do? Read function will read the data from the file by its name. I will show you by code. Next one is read line function, and you can use multi comment too. Why, I don't know why I'm using multiple hashes, but you can use multi comment too. You know na, multi comment you can use by triple quotes. These are three basic read functions to read the data from the file. Firstly, I will show you how to use read function. The syntax for read function is file handle f, which you can see here, dot read f dot read and n. This is the syntax. What is this n? N is a number of bytes. Okay, what is this n? N is a number of bytes. But what if I don't specify n over here? Then it will read the entire file content. The file content is this. If I don't specify n over here, then it will read the entire file content. If I run the program, you can see nothing get printed because I haven't printed the data. Let me print it. What the function is actually getting. Now, if I run the program, you can see all the content get printed over here, right? Same goes if I write a 20 over there, then what will it print? It will print only up to 10 bytes, only 20 bytes. Okay, if I specify n over here, then it will read up to n bytes only. But if I don't specify n over there, then it will read the entire file. Fine. I hope you understood. Now moving ahead to the read line function. By the name, you can assume that what do the read line function is going to do. Read line function will basically read the first line. By default, it will read the first line. It read the first line. Now, by my definition, because my definition was incomplete, what if I write a read line again over here? Is it going to print the same line again? Let's see. No, it is not going to print the same line again. It is printing the next line. Why? Because in starting the cursor was over here. You can see the cursor is blinking. After using first readline statement, the cursor get end over here. Now the cursor is blinking here. If I am using the second readline function, then the computer will look into the file, will check that whether there is next line in the file or not. Yes, there is next line over here. Then the cursor will point over here and print the entire line, and now the cursor is pointing over here. Now if I use readline function again, then it will print the next line. I hope you understood the method. Now, what if the syntax for readline is same as of read? What if I write n over here? What if I write 2 over here? Is it going to read 2 lines at a time? No, no, no. It will read up to 2 bytes only. It will read up to 2 bytes only, right? Only 2 bytes. Hello, HE only. Now the third and the last function is read lines method. What do the read lines function will do? There is some sort of twist over there. Read lines function is going, let me show you, it will be a surprise for you. What? Readline function return us the list, and every line is a single element over there. Readline function will return us the list of elements in which each line behave as an element over there. Fine. Okay, this is read lines function. I hope you understood all the three basic functions to read the data from the file. These are only the three basic functions. You can recall it. I am summarizing. Okay. What the read function will do? Read function will read the entire file from the content if the n is not specified over there. But if n is specified over, in order to get the whole file get printed, we will use read function by default. It will print the whole content. Readline function, what will it do? It will just read the first line. The cursor is pointing to the end of line now. If we use readline function again, then it will just print the next line. What will we specify n over in the readline function? Then it will print only n bytes. But if n is not specified, then it will read the entire line. Readline function is very simple. It will just return the list of the elements in which the each element is the line in the file. Each element is an individual line in the file. Okay, these were the three basic functions. I hope you understood. Now moving ahead to some code snippets I have made for you guys. I will just do only 2 snippets now, and will give another two, in homework to you. First one is reading a file's first 30 bytes and printing it. Okay, reading the first 30 bytes and printing the content. First snippet we are going to do 01 underscore snippet dot py. Firstly, I will make a file handle. As you all know, we first make a file handle, or you can say file object. We will I will open my file sample.txt. Sample.txt over here. It will by default open in read mode. I will just print. This is a very simple snippet. I will just do f.read and I have to print 30 bytes, right? Okay, I'm done with this. Only 30 bytes get printed. Now moving ahead to second snippet .py. What do the second snippet? Write a program to display the size of a file in bytes and number of lines in the file. So firstly, I will open the file. This is sample.txt file again. Okay, sorry, I have made a mistake over there. Sample.txt file. I just b equal to 0. I'm initializing lines equal to 0. Okay, now in order to print number of bytes, basically I have to print the content h for 1 byte, e 2 byte, right? So if I use for loop over here, the loop is going to implement over here for I and f dot read. I hope you are well aware about the traversing method. I'm just traversing each element. F dot read, what f dot read will read the entire file content, and what I will get each element. I will just write b plus equal to 1. I will print the data, print mm, number of bytes in the file s, and the file is b. Okay, now the twist is I have to close this file here. Why I'm closing this file? I should print lines too. No, because if I'm using f.read function here, f.read function here, then the cursor was initially pointing to here. If I use f.read, now the cursor is pointing to here. If I am going to use read lines after this to count the number of lines, then the computer will see there is no next line in the file. It will show the output as 0. Okay, don't, I'm not closing it over here. I will just show you what's the mistake we are going to make here. For I and f dot read lines, I hope you are getting the logic, because read lines function will return as the read line functions will return as the will return as the list of elements, and by traversing each element we can know the number of lines in the file. So lines plus equal to 1, and if we print, okay, control Z, print number of in the file is lines. If I run this program now, you can see here the output is coming to be 0. Why this 0? Because I have told you that the cursor is now pointing to the end of the file. The computer will look, there is no next line in the file, then it will display the answer as 0. But what if I close this file over here, f.close over here, and opening the file, f equal to open sample.txt. Now it will show the correct output, because after opening the file, the cursor is again back to first line. You can see number of lines are 5 over here, and the output is 5 only. So this is the snippet 2. Third one is creating a file to hold some sort of data. I will cover it in most probably next video, because the video get lengthy. It's basic, you can just do it. I hope you will do it. This is the homework snippet for you. Next one is to the homework snippet, and core snippet 4 is an important snippet, because it will get you in the depth of the print statement. Write a program to read a text file line by line and display each word separated by a hash as I think you guys have I will give you hint that a split function is going to be used in this one, and another hint is uh, in print statement there are three parameters, right? First one is the content which you are going to get printed. Second one is the end, and third one is the sep. I hope you know about it. Okay, I will not disclose, just try it once. I will cover it in the next video. And this is all for this video. Thank you guys. I hope you understood the concepts very well. I know this video get lengthy because this was the first video of file handling, and to clear the concepts, to clear the or to brush up the concepts of file handling to the students, the first video get lengthier every time because we have to make the base strong to move ahead. So in the upcoming videos we will more focus on practical forms of file handling. This is all for this video. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.